The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. Got this guest, and we haven't had a poet on before, and she is absolutely fantastic. We're going to talk about that, and we're just going to have fun. How you doing, Dr. Mike? How you doing?
Great, and I can't wait. Wait, I just made up a poem. No, I am so excited about this show because this show demonstrates how we are on the leading edge. I got to share this. The New York Times today broke out a new program that they're going to be having in the next 5 weeks. And it starts like this. What if I told you there was an antidote to burnout and brain fog, and a secret code for a mental reboot? And they say it's called creativity. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. How poetry can be a powerful tool for mental and physical well-being. I can't wait to get into this discussion.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait either. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing good. How are you, James?
Well, I'm 3.2 on the 4.0 scale. So, so Michelle, I'm excited about this guest, and I want to get started. So can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is Poetic Expression and Mental Health. So we're having a sit-down conversation with Dr. Marcia Falk. She is an author and also a lecturer. She's going to discuss the creative process, poetry, and the recovery process. Poetry as a mindful escape. Poetic expression to share personal, intimate, yet universal experience, and poetry and family and community. So Dr. Marcia Falk is widely known in the progressive Jewish world for her recreations of Hebrew and English prayers from an inclusive, non-patriarchal perspective. Her new book of poems is The Sky Will Overtake You. Other books include the Book of Blessings, New Jewish Prayers for Daily Life, the Sabbath, and the New Moon Festival, and many more. She is the author of the now classic translation of the Song of Songs, translations of modern Hebrew and Yiddish women poets Zelda and Malka Tussman, and 3 chapbooks of her own poetry. She has a PhD in comparative literature from Stanford and was a postdoctoral fellow at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. She holds an honorary doctorate in human letters from the Reconstructionist Rabbinical College, and she was a university professor for 2 decades and today lectures pictures widely. She's a lifelong painter. And you know what? She's going to tell us more about herself. Please welcome to the show for the first time, Dr. Marsha Falk.
How you doing? How you doing, Dr. Marshall? How you doing today?
After that intro with that applause and yay, I'm great. Where do I get a copy of that? Yay!
Yeah.
It's you know, I tell you what, those are actual people that was doing that. I'm talking about just all
Oh, people around us here. Well,
Send them to my house.
you know, Dr. Fall, I want to, well, Marsha, I want to ask the first question. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up, what made you click, and why you're so passionate about what you do?
I grew up in New York, born in New York City, yeah, and grew up on Long Island. Born in the Bronx, grew up on Long Island, and made it out to California for graduate school, and that's when I got hooked on the Bay Area. What else would you like to know? I forgot already the questions.
You know, why you so passionate about what you do?
Well, it's what Michael just said about creativity and how healing it is, really. And I've known my whole life, writing and painting, I'm also a painter, have saved me. They are, yeah, I know I've never put it quite that way before, Michael. I see you looking a little puzzled, but you know what?
intrigued. I'm intrigued. I want to hear more.
Well, you know, as a little girl, a sad little girl, not always the world's happiest little girl, being in a room with crayons and pencils and paper, that's what saved me. And as soon as I could, I demanded painting lessons, and was sent to a place called the Art Students League, which still feels like my home on West 57th Street in New York. And I still have friends from my youth at the Art Students League.
Your book, The Sky Will Overtake You.
Yeah.
It was a very touching book. I read it, and it really touched me and my wife as well. And I think that it's important to understand what inspired you to write this book.
So I didn't write this book all at once. The poems in this book,
Copy, you can hold it up.
I will hold it up. Oops.
Oh my goodness.
With tags.
Look at those tags.
That's not good. It ruins the effect of the
It doesn't come that way, right?
It's one of my paintings, or it's actually just a piece of one of my paintings. The Sky Will Overtake You.
So what was the inspiration to put it together?
Oh, well, the poems themselves were written over, now I'm really going to date myself, but you could guess it anyway, over half a century. Yeah. So there wasn't one inspiration for the book. There were many little moments that evoked poems, and they were mostly ordinary moments. They were not moments that I sought out. I would be just sitting in a park or in my backyard, and the sky overtook me. That's what happens with poems for me anyway. And I think it's true for probably a lot of people out there who are listening. You know, if you quiet down, then you get overtaken.
You had a poem in your book about something so simple, gardening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's called The Earth.
Yes.
Could you share that and just read that for us?
I will read that. Yes, it is called Earth. And it goes like this. See how it falls unhurried between your fingers, wood and acid, flour and metal in the crescents of the nails. See how when you dig in its darkness, it settles its weight in your hand at home with its child. And how when you lay it back around the newly planted roots, patting it down with the flat of your palm, it leaves you again without resisting, the way hair, skin, sight, mind go quietly, cell by cell, so gently you can only imagine to what soft bed, what body you are being delivered. So I was gardening, but the next thing I knew, there I was being delivered to some soft bed, some body.
So we know just by watching you and listening to you that reading poetry, writing poetry can positively impact our physical health by supporting our body's stress response, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. It gives us presence and mindfulness, and it lowers, I don't know about you, but it lowers stress and cortisol. When you engage with poetry, as you just shared, especially when it's calming or emotionally resilient, it activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. That helps slow the heart rate. It helps reduce muscle tension. We relax. If that's not healing and helpful, boy, I don't know what is. So thank you for sharing that. We have 2 minutes before a break. But what does poetry allow you to express that ordinary language might not?
You know, it's funny because my friends and family always tell me that my voice in poems is different from my day-to-day voice.
I heard it. I saw it.
You saw it, yeah.
JC, you saw it too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I wish it were with me all the time. I wish it were. But I'm afraid that, you know, maybe like some others of your listeners, I can be crabby, I can be critical, but somehow with poetry, I'm in a different realm. I don't know, do I have time to read you a poem called The Feast?
Absolutely, but I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We got to take a
Hold
station
that
break.
poem.
We got to take a station break, but I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching this on, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on and go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-817-729-6272. That's 817-729-6272. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? in everything that you do.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, Marsha, when you were reading that poem, I mean, you just lit up. Just you was in your elements, and I can't wait to hear the other one that you get ready to read. So I tell you what, whatever platform you're watching this on, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments. That's any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Marsha, can you please read that other poem? I'm excited. I'm excited.
I will. I'm going to read it right now. But James, JC, I want to tell you, I love your message that came on. Love who you are. And I just wanted to share with you that the blessing I composed for my child, which ended up in the Book of Blessings that Michelle mentioned as the blessing for the children, goes like this: be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. So we're on the same page, JC.
We are on the same page.
Oh, speaking of being on that page, I want to hear the feast.
The feast.
Let's hear this.
The feast. The feast is, the laden arms of the oak, the elm, and the agitated hunger of the small jays, the fat globes of white sugar mum where bees suck love, and you in the morning shade, tasting the new day sharp and alive on your tongue, or a chorus that says, indulge, the world is abundant, this loving, dying world to which we are given, out of which we have come. O body of the world, eat with joy the body of the world.
Wow. I know that JC and Michelle are vibing in the background. The New York Times, I said this when we began, miracle of miracles, although, we believe these things are connected. The New York Times today released a series of articles they're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks or so on how to reboot your mind, your heart, your body, your soul. And they say specifically, you become more open-minded and curious. Your mood lifts when you engage in creativity.
That's right.
We know that poetry promotes mindfulness, relaxation, lowers blood pressure, improves breathing, gives us better sleep. I'm interested, and I know our audience are going to be interested in hearing the answer to this question. Many people turn to medicine or therapy in times of crises, health or physical or emotional. You turn to poetry. How did writing help promote your emotional and spiritual healing?
Well, I should say off the bat that I turned to all those things, and without a good set of surgeons, I would not be alive today.
Of course.
And I just want to make it clear that poetry and the other arts are not a substitute for good health. And we are so blessed to live where we can get good medicine, good medical attention. And I feel very grateful that that I had a team of 10 surgeons saving my life over 10 hours. But you know what? When I got back from the hospital, from the ICU after a couple of months, what really started to bring me back to life was working on this book with my spouse, another poet, as it happens, fortunately for me. He sat there patiently with me every morning, combing through poems that I had written over the past 50 years. Yeah, I didn't even know I had written that many poems. And we sat and we read and we edited and we revised and we chose and we ordered and we created this book. And that is what kept me going, because it's what gave me purpose. That kind of creativity for me has two stages. First is the overwhelming gift from wherever, the feast. But then there's all the hard work of sitting down and get rid of that line, it's no good, or this line repeats what you've already said, all the editing and adjusting. That's what engages creativity, that's the intense cognitive work that also was part of my recovery, a very big part of my recovery.
Amazing how it all braids together. JC, you have a question?
Yeah. So when you're writing poems, do you write with an audience in mind, or do the dialogue come from internal thoughts that you're thinking at that particular time? Because the way that you just read that one, it's the feast. I love that. I'm going to get your book.
Yeah, you like that book?
Oh yeah.
I'll send it to you, JC. Send me a postal address. I'll send it to you. But,
okay.
Yes, no, I don't write with an audience in mind. I'm always thrilled when the audience comes to me and then reaches out and responds. I love it that you like that poem. I love it that feeds me, that feeds the next poem. But I don't write with you or Michelle or Michael or any of the people who are now watching the show in mind, because the poem, it's so hard to put into words. It's almost like, and I hate the sound of this, it's almost like a trance. It just comes. It comes. The book is called The Sky Will Overtake You, and the opening poem in the book is the muse finally speaks. And what does the muse say?
Can we hear that?
Sure, you can. You can hear anything you want. I'll stay all day. You don't need me, she says. The sky will overtake you, a stunning event each time you step outside. You do not have to call up the 1,000 configurations of emptiness and cloud. On its own, without the workings of your mind, the sky will impart color and contour to flatland, house, and hill. Memory, imagination, they are nothing compared to the sheer, simple fact of it, the indelible, inviolate fact of sky.
I love this.
Wow.
I love it. I got one more question. When do you know, until you sit back and you write a poem, when do you know that poem is completed? I'm talking about, when we all are writers, but when do you know that this is it. It's done. This is how I want it to go. How I want it to be.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I think I know. Sometimes I just have that feeling, aha, I said what I wanted and I put it away. And the next thing I know, I'm back at it, revising it, rewriting it. So maybe I never know until it's in undercovers. Which was the painter? I think it was it? No, it wasn't her. There was a famous painter. Turner. Was it Turner? My spouse.
I hear someone calling you in the background.
Yeah, I got someone in the background, my poet spouse. Oh, after the painting was up on the gallery walls, he would go in with his brush and paints and revise. And I'm kind of like that, even after it's in a book. So I don't know. Maybe I'm never finished, JC.
Let's hope you never finish. So we know the focus of the show is to be so forward thinking, to be talking about how poetry can help with health. The name of our show is 360-Degree Health. We know that poetry, as JC, as you and I were listening, our brain is stimulated. Poetry stimulates the brain, our brain language and emotion centers, which are the right hemisphere. And it's linked to those functions like digestion, heart rate, immune response. When those systems are calmer, the body heals more effectively. And, I just got finished speaking to the American Heart Association, and I didn't touch on this exactly, but we know that when we reduce stress, we improve our emotional awareness. We encourage calm. Poetry, therefore, can even support heart health over time. And chronic stress is a major risk in cardiovascular disease. And poetry, such as you're reading, is a gentle antidote. It's amazing. So there's no question that this is part of emotional healing. Now, I want to ask you, though, about community. Marsha. How important is community, your family, your friends, even readers for your emotional well-being during a health crisis?
It's absolutely everything. It is so important. It is so important. I mean, starting with as the family, the friends, yes. Just even just knowing they're there, even if they're not doing anything skilled, or I must say that both my spouse and my son learned how to be a nurse, but even without that, just knowing they're there, it is so important. It is so healing. But you know what? Readers, as I mentioned, James put a smile on my face when he said that poem moved me, and you've put many smiles on my face, Michael, with your appreciation of the work. The connection, it's all about making that connection, because why bother to write if it's not going to reach someone? I mean, I don't write for anyone in particular, and yet if my words didn't reach someone, and if I didn't get that sense back from them, if I never heard from anyone telling me that I spoke to them, you spoke to me, or you spoke for me, it wouldn't be a complete process. It wouldn't be a complete creative process. That's the creative process requires that connection. And so the world of humanity is everything. And I'm fortunate because I have wonderful friends. I belong to a small synagogue. We call it a chavura. It's and boy, they were right there for me when I had my heart event. And everybody wanted to know, what could they do? Could they bring food? I said, just be in my zone, be in my world. That's all. Visit me. Just let me know you're there. And then they had me read my poems for them. And that again, it's that connection. I think that's what it's all. That's where the healing really comes for me, anyway.
Hold that thought. We got to take a station break. I want to come. I want to hear a lot more of this. I want to hear a couple more of your poems. I'm excited. So whichever platform that you're watching this on, whether it's E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. And if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching this on and go to the comments, ask any question, or pick up the phone and dial 817-729-6272. Remember, it's your life, and we'll be back shortly after the break.
Welcome to Veridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Veridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at VeridianChristianUniversity.com. VeridianChristianUniversity.com.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, just like it's 360-degree health. My partner, Dr. Michael Mantell. He always bring it. He always bring top-notch guests, like we got today. And Doc, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say this right now. I'm gonna have to say it right now that Marsha, if you have time in you invited back to the show. I know we still got another segment and 2 segments left, but this is absolutely fantastic. This is wonderful. So
it sure is. I hope you'll come back, Marsha. And you have so much to share in your heart. It's amazing. JC, we were talking before about community. And one of the things I was thinking about in terms of poetry is that it actually helps reduce this sense of isolation that Marsha, you were talking about. It reminds us we're not alone. We are not alone. And when you see your struggle reflected in the way people respond to your words, to your poems, to someone else's verse, sharing your own or being heard creates this connection that's so important. And I also think there's a certain amount of meaning that is created.
Yes.
If you're dealing with illness or pain, poetry offers a way to find meaning. I know you have a poem you want to read to us called Enduring, about grief. Because poetry can help us heal by expressing hope, emotionally process what's happening in our bodies, and it gives us a sense of dignity. So please share your poem called Enduring.
Yes. And I just want to say that what you just said, Michael, it's so true. When you read a poem that expresses a feeling that you've had, it's such healing, it's such comfort. I think often about Shakespeare, the greatest poet in the English language, talking about when in despair with myself, when in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast fate. Shakespeare felt alone. It's so healing. I read that every time I really do. I read this poem to myself a lot every time I feel alone. Just to know that someone as great as Shakespeare felt like he wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. Imagine that. Imagine that. I know a lot of children out there have had feelings from time to time. I'm not good enough. We've probably all felt that, right? From time to time. I know you like to talk about mental health, and I think love who you are. JC says, love who you are. You are good enough. Even Shakespeare needed to be told that. But I will now move on to enduring. Enduring, like awakening after a long illness, to find your health stole back in while you slept. Your sorrow in its time will retreat, and the knowledge you carried all along will reemerge whole and cleansed. One day you will not thrash in the too bright light, looking for a corner in which to close your eyes. One morning, the weight will not be there beneath your eyelids, the first thing you wake to. It will not settle on your tongue like a lump of salt. And because you have stayed this long, unrelenting in the unrelenting world, you know that time, though imperfect, is diligent and wrestles down grief, and that all things are born small and grow large, except grief, which is born large and grows small.
Beautiful. Our nervous system and give us a healing. I mean, it's not a cure, but it's a gentle medicine. Thank you so much. Marsha, I'm curious about what your definition of wellness, being well, is right now, especially when the body is struggling.
Yeah, the body is struggling. The body is struggling. I have something called chronic fatigue, long COVID, which I've had on top of the post-surgery. And there are times I just get so annoyed with myself, you know? Why don't I have more energy? Why do I feel so tired? Yesterday I was swimming and oh my goodness, I entered a lane with someone whom I couldn't really swimming, by the way, is one of my personal therapies. Poems sometimes come to me when I'm in the water. They just well, other swimmers out there will probably relate to this. There was somebody swimming at the far end of the pool whom I could almost not see. And the reason I couldn't see her was she was very small. And the reason she was very small is that she was an amputee.
Oh.
She was missing 2 legs and 1 arm. And her second arm was just a hand. Yes. And she was swimming. And she swam and she swam and she swam until she was right next to me at my end of the pool. And I said to myself, stop feeling sorry for yourself, Falk. This is healing. Look at what this woman has done. She has learned how to swim. She swims apparently 3 times a week. And she has a smile on her face. That to me was inspirational. You want to know about inspiration? That to me was inspirational. Uh-oh, have I brought you down, JC?
No, I mean, I'm just sitting back here listening to this. That is inspirational. And that's encouraging to a lot of our listeners out there that knows that regardless of what situation or circumstances that you might be in, there are things out there that's in your heart and your mind, your body, your soul that keeps you going.
That's right.
It wasn't about bringing it down. It was like, that's inspirational right there.
Well, you
So
know,
this,
JC,
was this an okay? Oh, Michael, yeah.
as I said, JC, it reminds me of your saying, think big, dream
You got
big.
it wrong, Doc. Dream big, think big,
Dream big, think big, and be big.
be big at
Did
everything
I-
you do.
That woman is doing exactly what you are
Yeah.
saying.
And so you asked me about wellness. What is my definition of
Yeah.
wellness? And yesterday, I was feeling sorry for myself. So I was feeling like I'm not well, right? I'm too tired. I've got chronic fatigue. And when am I going to be able to walk normally? Because since the surgery, I don't have all these complaints and all these feelings of not being well. And here was this swimmer, and she was well. And she she gave me another vision of wellness. Wellness being, I can't put it into words. She put it into her swim. Is that good enough?
It came to you exactly when you needed it. That woman may have swam an hour later, 2 hours earlier. It came right when you needed that. Right, Michelle?
Exactly. As long as your mind is clear and you're receptive to receiving things that are soothing, that is going to calm your spirit and give you clarity, nothing can stop you.
Yeah, we're gonna take a station break. But wow, I see the numbers. Why aren't you guys putting comments in, calling in, and talking to this great poet and also Dr. Michael? I tell you, I know that. So I tell you what, if you want to be part of the conversation again, whichever platform that you're watching us on, just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 817-729-6272. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Where is all the good news? Where's the helping hand? Where are all the smiles I used to see? You gotta be here somewhere. I think I'll take a look around. Maybe try to find some harmony. All the love we used to know, just too hard to find. Giving in to feelings of despair. The world we knew is upside down. Fears replacing love.
Hi, Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible. Integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are. Grow in faith. And build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'll tell you, 306 degree health. Dr. Mike, you knocked it out the park again with this absolutely fantastic guest. And I keep seeing her going here in her own element when she reads me poems. So we've got to get another poem from you. But before we even go back to that, I want to tell the world about this absolutely fantastic university called Viridian Christian University. And I'm the chancellor, but that's not why I'm talking about that. I'm talking about that because we offer over 30 degree programs, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and honorary doctorate degrees to people that are doing above and beyond. And I tell you what, very affordable, probably half the cost of any university that you're going to run across. And it's accredited and it's done online. I tell you what, why don't you look up ViridianChristianUniversity.org and get in touch with us and come join the winning team. You know, I want to get back to, I tell you, Marcia, you're incredible. We got about 9 minutes left in the show. I don't even want to end it because and I know Dr. Mike got a couple of questions, but I got to get another poem from you. I got to get that, you know. So can you do us the honors and give us another one?
You're my shill. I planted you in the audience. Every poet needs someone like you in the audience, JC. Okay. I would like to read The Gift. And I must say that the three of you have been a real gift to me. You really have. I'm just appreciating what I'm trying to offer in the way that you have. It's a big gift.
I think you're a gift to us because, you know, I ain't had this much fun in a long time. And
good. Fun is good. I'm for fun. So this is called The Gift. Sitting before a row of green and yellow lettuces with no desire but to render them gently. When the light dips under a cloud, a blue shadow stirs the faces of their generous leaves. Last night you dreamt you were forgiven by an old friend with whom you had quarreled, and today you are almost peaceful, watching a blue truck lumber away past the turn in the woods just beginning to turn from green, while clouds smooth the ruffled edges here and there, part way through your life.
I love that. That is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Marcia, what feedback have you received from readers or family and friends regarding your book?
Oh, the book just came out. It's
Okay.
brand new. The official pub date was May 19th, so that's 9 days ago. So I'm still kind of waiting in the wings here to hear what you all have to say.
Madness Museum.
Did you mention it, some of the poems, to your family and friends? What do they think?
They've been great. They've been my family and friend. I did a reading at the Magnus Museum in Berkeley from this book a few weeks ago, and the room was packed, and I sold out. I had advance copies, and they sold out. So I'm hoping that the written word was as satisfying to people in the room who heard me read, and perhaps, Michael and I met originally because he wrote me this beautiful, beautiful letter about this book, and I said, wow, is this guy another poet? Because he really understands poetry. And I was so moved. I was just so taken by his very generous and insightful comments, and that's why I'm on your show, Michelle and JC, because of Michael. And then I must say, Michelle, you sent me some questions just a couple of days ago, and I thought, who is this brilliant person who knows how to respond to poetry? So I've been very fortunate in the response so far, and you're part of it. So thank you.
Marsha, if people want to get hold of this important book, this healing book, how can they get hold of it?
Please just go to your favorite bookstore or go to Amazon and put in the title of the book, or even just my name, and the title will probably come up. The title again is The Sky Will Overtake You. My name, you can see. Amazon will send it right out to you. You know how they do that. So
get it the next day. So I wouldn't be the mental health professional that I have been if I didn't have a way to turn all this into some practice for our listeners. And so this will take 5 minutes a day. You can do it in the morning if you want to get your day started, the evening if you want to unwind, midday if you want to reset. Just pick a poem from this book, any poem, and it'll take you a minute or two to read it. It could be something you return to each time or explore something new. I know we got 3 minutes left, so I'm just real quickly, read the poem to yourself or out loud. Breathe naturally, just as you heard Marcia do. Let the words resonate. Don't analyze, just let the words inside of you. And then reflect briefly for a minute or two. What line stayed with you? What emotion or sensation did it stir? What does your body feel like? When you do this, watch what happens. You will gain. And this book will really be what it's meant to be, a form of wonderful, healing, healthy medicine. Wow. You're great. Thank you.
Can you read one more quick poem? I think we got about 2 minutes.
Another quick poem. And can I add something to your little exercise, Michael? If anybody does read a poem and wants to let me know, just write to me through my website, which is marciafalk.com, or email me at marciafalk@gmail. I will read. We know her. This is a puzzle poem. You won't know what it's about till the last word. We know her. We see her in the shimmering blades, their bright green waving on the hill, and hear her through the cottonwoods, the aspens flying free through their leafy crowns. We breathe her as she lifts to the sky the scents of the newly furrowed field, and feel her touching our forehead in our fevered dreams. Only the taste of her emptiness is saved for tomorrow. Remembered honey of mother's milk, manna of our longing, wind.
Wow.
Thank you, Mark. I knew you'd be fabulous.
Wow. This is
What
incredible.
is that wonderful tape that does that? Where do I get that? I want that.
Marsha, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Just Dr. Mike, we got to get it back.
Absolutely.
We got to do a part two. We got to do a part two.
Healing for us.
Be my pleasure. Be my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
I'd like to thank my partner, Dr. Michael Mantia. We got to get him on a lot more because he always, he's a genius and he always bring it, so we're going to figure that one out, Dr. Mike. I'd like to thank Michelle for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. She write all the questions, write all the programs. She do it all, so, but most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners out there for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And on the radio, KCBQ, the answer out of San Diego, Case Guide, the answer out of Dallas, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all the other platforms, so always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.